Here we go, back at it for shed season 2024. I am stoked. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emmett Enyart, and I absolutely love to deer hunt and shed hunt. And we are getting to that time of year where shed hunting is definitely going to be in the works. So this being the first episode, I got to get it out there. What's the goal for 2024? Well, the goal this year is 100 antlers. And I know that's surprising, right? Because last year my goal was 150. We found 190. And I've gained a couple other places to shed hunt this year. So why would my goal go down? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. One, the biggest reason why, is because EHD has been extremely bad this year in the areas that I primarily hunt. And for those of you that don't know what EHD is, it's a disease that can be really bad on certain summers where certain rain conditions and drought conditions are present. And this year it just happened to be extremely bad in the area that I primarily hunt. And for example, on like one of the farms that I was super excited about deer hunting this year, I think 75% of the deer on that farm died from EHD. And I say this based on a couple things, right? Like observations, deer counts, harvest reports from like some of the neighbors around, trail cam photos, even throughout the summer. Like I'd be out checking cameras or something, not even looking for the deer. I found 15 to 25 different deer. Another reason is because I'm releasing a business that I've been working on for the past 2.5, 3 years, and that's cat tracks. First product that I'm going to be releasing at the Great American Outdoor Show is the Commando, which is actually the lightest climbing stick that the hunting industry has seen to date. So you want to keep an eye out for that if you like to do hang-in hunts and like to be mobile while hunting. A lot of the vacation that I have left for this year, I'm going to be allocating to that business. And so I'm going to be out in Harrisburg, and that's going to take up a full week of vacation that I would have normally been using for shed hunting. So basically, the number of days I have to shed hunt has gone down, and the number of deer have gone down significantly. So between those two things, that's why we're going to have to set the goal at a more realistic number for this year. I actually will be really, really happy if we get 100. And we're still going to be doing giveaway sheds this year. This is going to be the giveaway shed for this video. I staged the giveaway shed at some point in the video. You'll see it kind of in the background as I'm walking around. It'll either be like when I'm finding a shed or when I'm showing kind of the area that I'm walking in. And if you're the first person who comments the time that that shed is in the video, I'll pin your comment at the top. You'll win either that shed, I'll send that shed to you, or I'll send you a hat or a pack of shed tags, whatever you like. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive into week 1 of shed hunting here in 2024. All right, guys, it is January 21st, and we have a boatload of snow here in Iowa. What I'm doing here is I'm getting out as close to the core as I can on this farm. I'm gonna pull some of the snow back in the middle of the field, and then I'm gonna drop the 50-pound bags of corn that I bought in the middle of the field in hopes that these deer will find it soon. They'll come up and eat it. They'll stay close to it. There's another feeder that we're gonna go fill up later here today. I don't think we'll have a problem getting to that one just because it's all flat to it. But the one that was on this farm, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to. I really want to give these deer the easiest food source they can have because it's a really tough winter. And if you can have the best and most accessible food source for them, which with the amount of snow we've gotten like 2 feet, 2.5 feet in some areas, you know, it's really tough for them to access the food that's on the ground. So if you have a feeder and you're giving that to them, you know, they're going to prefer that because it's up off the ground. And then second off, this year with these really cold temps, these deer are like stressing really hard. It's a tough winter, not just for deer, but all wildlife. So I can't say how much of an impact it has, but it definitely has an impact on when a deer drops its antlers. I can just about guarantee that with the data we've seen over the years. Even if we don't find the antlers, we're making it easier on these deer. Put a couple bags on top of one another so we get a pile here, something that'll catch their eye. You can see I cleared off the snow. That way the deer can actually see the corn. Got some nice south-facing slopes here right behind me. Hopefully they just go right down into those banks, lay down, either come up here and feed and drop their antlers or go back to bed and drop their antlers. But if nothing else, we're giving them a good food source, an easy accessible food source. I'm not out looking for antlers. What I'm doing is I'm filling a feeder here. If I come up and I see an antler right here, check this out. Right here next to the feeder. That's the first shed for 2024. That's how critical feeders can be in really rough winters like this. You know, when you have 12 to 24 inches of snow and it's not melting, the access to their food sources becomes limited. Look at how fresh that is. Man, that's cool. Number one for 2024. You can see that they're just absolutely mowing down on this corn. There's just looks like a pig pen here with all these tracks. And as I'm looking at them right now, I see another shed. Look at this right there. Look at that. Look at that. Oh boy. That's not even off the same deer. It's right there, as I'm telling you about why we're feeding these deer, and just sitting here looking at all these trenches of where these deer are walking, because like you can see how much snow there is. Just look here in the tracks right here. Then when you look down this lane right here, you can see how there's just these deer have beat these trails down because they're coming to the easiest food source. And that explains why this one is right there. Huh. Look at that. So there you go. There's number 2 for 2024. Number 1, number 2. I've got a camera up on this feeder. I think that we're getting damn near every deer that's in this area coming here. Not many big ones, but there's a lot of little ones that hopefully we can build a future with, and maybe, you know, come back in a couple years and say, hey, look at this. But that's awesome. Look, he busted off his G3 right here. His other side's actually a 4-point, where this side's a 5, but that's really cool. 2 sheds on January 21st. Today's January 26th. Got off work a little bit early today, Friday here, and just figured out what I'd do because the snow's finally starting to melt. Is I'm gonna walk around the edge of this field. It's a turnip field, testing out this new GoPro, and we're gonna see if we can find a shed that's just hanging out because I won't be here this weekend, and I want to make sure if there's a nice, easy one that's easy to see, that we find it. So it's January 27th. It was the first day I was actually going to go out and look around for some antlers. Got up at the break of dawn, was on my way, and smoked a deer. Busted out the front grill, and looks like it's done some damage to the radiator. So now my engine can't cool itself, and now I am stuck on the side of the road. Between EHD, limited vacation, and now hitting a deer, doing a substantial damage to my truck. Yeah, the challenges are definitely adding up. Check out how desperate these deer are for food. I had some corn out in the yard. This was just last night. These deer have never gotten that close. So right now what I'm doing is I got this, I don't even know how big that tote is, but it's filled with corn, and I'm gonna pull this sled out to a spot because I can't get anything to the feeders because we had all that snow. It melted. I mean, the ground is just absolutely a sloppy mess. So what we're doing is we're gonna haul it out there with the sled, and we're gonna start dumping some corn. So after that, we'll check out some of these areas around here and see if we can find anything. All right, I just got that corn dumped out not too far from here, probably about 100 yards from here. I just started doing some walking. It's actually slowing down to catch my breath, and I actually come up on one right here. Look at that, right here on this field edge. You can see these deer are using it quite a bit. There's a lot of tracks right here, and yeah, I can just see a tine right there. I can actually see the pedicle facing me right here. So there we go, number 3 on the year right there, baby. Let's go. Look at that. Right there you have it. It's number 3 on the year. Nice little 3-point. Well, that's a good sign. You can tell these deer are definitely using this field edge right here. All right, just working down along this field edge right here, and actually I got ourselves a second shed right there. Let's go. That's number 4 in the year. Boom, baby. You can barely see it, but the feeder that I had been filling is down there, so this is all making sense. You can see why there's a lot of deer tracks here. This makes complete sense. You know, between that feeder, locust pods, and then maybe some turnips. They're also close by in the area. That was basically the only food that they had left. So I'm not surprised by the amount of deer sign that we're seeing, and I'm also not surprised that we just came up on the second shed. So, boom. Yes. Look at that. Actually, his wax ring is not fully there, so I'd been down longer than I thought, but we're just now getting some snow melt. And today's January 30th, and it's about 30 minutes until it's dark here. It's a really cloudy day. And what I'm doing right now, I'm going out here on this field that you can kind of see from a road. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change all the cards on these cameras and also change the batteries. That way when I get it back, I can have a good inventory of what's still holding. It is a decent food source, so it's possible that we might find a shed. But I'm just hitting the spot right here after work because I only get by the time I get home on most nights, there's only 30 minutes left of daylight. And it just happened to work out where today I could get here in time to just come change these cameras and maybe, just maybe, find an antler. Let's go. I'm on my way out right here. Just came up on one. Let's get it. Right there on the path. Pretty well beat path because you can see the snow's already melted down. Yes, sir. That is that ain't light out by any means. Just last bit of light here, almost back to the truck. We got ourselves a shed. Yes, sir. That's a nice vibe. It's got full wax ring, pretty fresh. Nice chocolate antler, pretty thick. Pretty thick by all means. I think I got this deer on camera, but there you have it, number 5 on the year. So if that is the last shed that I find before Harrisburg, well, that means that that's going to conclude this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell so you can be notified when we drop more videos. You're also going to want to make sure you keep an eye out for the giveaway shed. The only person who wins the giveaway shed, their comment will be pinned. Sometimes we have scammers that will comment and say you won. The only way that you win is if your comment's pinned at the top. There's only one comment that's going to be pinned at the top. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we're at 5, goal is 100. Well, we're going to do everything we can to get there.